Good evening. My name is Antrisha Lugo, and I'm being interviewed by my husband, Daniel.
Describe your parenting style with your child.
I believe I am an authoritative parent because I set rules that I expect them to follow, but I do explain why these rules are in place.
Can you share an example with us?
One example would have to be bedtime. Even though a certain time is set, usually there's arguments as to why bedtime is that time. So I have to explain why bedtime is a certain time because of school the next day or because getting your rest help you grow and stuff like that.
Do any other caregivers have a different parenting style?
Um, so my parents were authoritarian parents, and that's how I grew up. My husband also practiced the authoritative parenting style in which he sets rules with me but explain why they're there and may give rewards as well.
What is the impact of your parenting style versus others?
um I believe everyone think their parenting style is the best, but I believe my parenting style allows my children to be independent and to know there's a reason for everything, and that I try to explain why, because at this stage they ask many why questions, so I try to explain why for their questions and not ignore them.
How do your children behave when they're angry?
uh I would say they behave differently for each reason. For the anger, they may just cry, um, stomp their feet, or just sometimes say they're angry.
Did he or she become aggressive and hit or bite, for example? And if not, share a story.
I wouldn't say that he became aggressive or hit or bite, but he did get, I would say, once when he stomped his feet because when we first brought his sister home from the hospital, he didn't understand why she needed more attention than he got. And we tried to explain that she couldn't do things for herself like he could, and that's why new babies need more attention, but we love them the same.
Tell us about a time your child needed to be disciplined.
I remember when he started kindergarten, and he needed a schedule as far as bedtime. He would get mad that he needed to go to bed at a certain time. And one such time, he stomped his feet again and got really angry and yelled. So we had to punish him by taking his favorite toy away, which was a Thomas train. And he didn't like that very much. So he understood why when he doesn't do something that he needs to do, there are consequences like a toy being taken away.
How do you think the way a child is disciplined impacts how aggressive a preschooler is?
I do believe that each child is different, but a lot of the times they look up to their parents at that age, and they tend to try to act the same way the parents do. So it depends on how they are. Um, I would say actually more is caught than taught. They will follow by example more than what they're told. So I guess it does depend on the parenting skill, but also each parent individually.
Describe one of your preschoolers' birthdays.
I would describe Daniel's third birthday. Since he was born in November, it's not very, living in upstate New York, it's not very warm outside. Actually, it's pretty cold, so we are forced to do birthday celebrations for him indoors. And on his third birthday, he had a Thomas the Train cake, um, and with Thomas and Friend theme decorations.
All right. Who was there?
So, your mom was there, your sister, her husband, her two sons, which is Daniel's cousins. My parents were there, my two sisters, my brother, uh, pretty much everyone close to the family were there.
What presents did your child receive?
That's a funny one because he received clothes, which he was very angry about. He didn't even look at them. And he did receive toys that he wanted. He was obsessed with Thomas back then, so he did get a lot of trains. He did get some books as well that were very interactive, and he did seem to be interested in them.